Good evening from Dunning Stadium in New Canaan, Connecticut. It's time for some boys varsity soccer. Tonight, it's the New Canaan Rams and the Greenwich Cardinals facing off for the third time this year as both teams bring in win streaks into this one. Austin Platt and Cole Schubert, along with the rest of the NCTV crew, we thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us as we watch these two teams compete in this new FCAC West Division. I bring in Cole now. Cole, you were part of this team. Obviously, you're still dealing with that injury. But, hey, this team finally got its 2 wins in New Canaan. They beat Wright Tech twice, 2 blowouts. They won 8-1 here on senior night last week and then won on Monday 7-0 on the road. What did you like from the team, and what do you want to see more of against a tough team in Greenwich?
I'm excited to see how their defensive shape holds today. And thank you, Austin. It's a pleasure to be alongside you for my second game announcing. Currently in the FCAC West, Greenwich is on top with a 5-0 record, and they're favored heavily in this game, with New Canaan coming in with a 2-4 record. But New Canaan does have some key players that can create some problems for the Greenwich team.
You mentioned some of those guys that made a big impact, and they scored 15 goals in their last 2 games. A couple of them to mention: Henry Lindberg, the senior, who had 3 goals in that last game on Monday. He's got 4 on the year. Milan Afshar, the junior, he's got 2. Tyler Timlin scored 2 in that first game that was here. Jack Fannin. Also Doyle Catlin, who just committed to Denison earlier this week to continue his career on the soccer pitch. He has 3. And Evan Bayless, the senior, former Beachside Club soccer player, he has 1 as well. And you look at this Greenwich team, 5-0. Really, they've been rolling. They beat Wright Tech 7-0 and 7-1 in their first 2 games in the year. And these 2 teams have already faced off. Greenwich won 2-0 here at Dunning just 2 weeks ago, and then they won 6-0 just 5 days later. So these 2 teams know each other very well.
Yes, and the players are taking the field. New Canaan starting off with the kickoff.
That'll be Evan Bayless in the center of your screen. Kicks this one off, and we are underway. New Canaan and Greenwich. New Canaan in the home reds, moving from left to right. The Cardinals coming in at 5-0, wearing the whites, and they will be moving from right to left. Quick opportunity potentially here as Alex Walter dives on it, the junior star goalie.
Big save from Alex.
As it was William Flynn who was looking to create an early opportunity for this Greenwich team as a turnover here, and Greenwich is off to a hot start just a couple seconds into this one, controlling the possession as it's number 12. That's Jake Hugh Jones, the junior. You talk about experience on this Greenwich team. They have 21 seniors, 8 juniors, and 1 sophomore on the roster that the CIAC has provided us. And that's just ridiculous to think about, Cole, that experience that they have. How does that help a team when you have that much experience?
They've been playing with each other. Some of them have been playing with each other for 4 years, and that will show on the field today as they know where someone's going to make a run or where to play the ball into them. What sorts of corners they like. Are they going to swing it into the top of the box, or are they going to try and play it short?
Throw in here in the Rams half, goes in and could fall dangerously. Appeals for a handball. But it looks like it will go the other way to New Canaan. You talk about experience. This Darien team last year, what a fantastic season they had. 10-4-2 they finished. They started 6-0. They lost in the FCI quarters to Wilton 2-1. But they went all the way to the state championship as the 14 seed in Class LL, which is the top division in Connecticut high school soccer. Upset the 3 seed East Hartford 4-2, as well as won 3 other times before losing in the finals. This ball goes behind for a corner as it's Jack Fannin, the senior, who makes no mistake as he looks around for some help, and Greenwich will have their second set piece thus far.
Lots of pressure from Greenwich starting off, looking for those through balls in through the center. Alex Walter's definitely going to have a big game ahead of him coming off of his line, as you saw with the first challenge within the first 30 seconds of the game or so.
Another corner for Greenwich here. Swung in with the left foot. Dangerous still in the middle. A couple players go down, and it'll be another foul. As for New Canaan, that was Irving Dorman, the sophomore, fellow NCTVer. Wins the foul, and the ball will go back to New Canaan. Talking to Coach Luke Green this week, he said the comparison between the first game with Greenwich, that game that finished 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals, is a better example of this team and where he would like to be. He said he'd like to keep the intensity very high in the defensive pressing and the composure in the attacking transitions to have more possession of the ball. But so far, or Cole, I should say, looks like New Canaan's not going to have a ton of possession in this one.
Yes, Greenwich is certainly skilled with controlling the ball in the midfield. As you can see here, trying to find those passes as it's intercepted by Michael Norton here on the close side.
Jonathan Gonzalez there, one of the many juniors on this team with quick speed already. And being tested there was Bosman for New Canaan. Will go out for a throw. As Michael Norton, the junior right back, who we saw have a decent game against Darien in the first game of the year. Greenwich still with possession of the ball. Comes back to Gonzalez. A shot. Looked like it was more of a cross, but no one was there, and Walter catches it off the bounce.
Walter here slowing it down, holding it for as long as he can. There is a rule of 6 seconds, but that is very loosely enforced, as it's normally just meant to help keep the game sped up. But certainly New Canaan looking to get out of some pressure from the back as Greenwich wins the ball back here on the far side of the field.
That was Afshar there looking to play it back and out of trouble. And it'll be a goal kick, I believe. Claims for a corner. As Greenwich is off to a wicked start. It looks like it actually will be a corner as many of the players are moving towards the center of the box.
Greenwich has looked dangerous with a few of these corners so far. The last one where Irving Dorman went down for the foul. They play this one short as New Canaan gets up off of the post and tries to press the ball.
Comes back to Hugh Jones and across. Couldn't find anybody.
It's out for a New Canaan goal kick.
Miscommunication there from the Cardinals, something we haven't seen all too much. They won 3-1 against Darien as well, who are right behind them in the standings at 4-2. That was number 4, Ryan Smith, one of the 4 senior co-captains, who was looking to get ahead on that one. A press here from Greenwich could be dangerous. But it was Dorman there at the back who played it successfully. A turnover here for New Canaan, but it comes right back. So that's Jack Fan looking to play it to, that is Michael Norton, who wins the throw. And New Canaan finally has some possession. He plays it up to Kelvin Carvalho. Bayless now in the midfield. Has Lindbergh to his left. But Greenwich does well to clear. Fannin again. Greenwich looking for a counterattack as it's played along this right-hand side. And letting it go is New Canaan. And they'll win the throw. That was Dorman again. As it looks like it's going to be a throw into New Canaan as the ref has a word with the Greenwich player who shoved Dorman down. But still be a throw-in for NC.
Interesting. Interesting to watch New Canaan line up here as they normally play 5-3-2 formation. That's 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 attackers. Definitely favoring a possession-heavy game with counterattacks built in, quick build-up from their 5 defense.
That's Doyle Catlin who plays it across this left-hand flank. And looking for it again was Lindbergh on a through ball opportunity. And that was Ashton Healy, the junior, who gets the nod, looking for him with the through ball. Unsuccessful, but still a New Canaan throw. Catlin does a nice job to nutmeg as he keeps possession in this Greenwich half. Catlin goes down. It will be a foul. You can tell, Cole, that already Greenwich is a team that presses a lot. We saw it in the defensive half, and we see it in the offensive half as well. How do you think New Canaan's going to have to adapt to that?
New Canaan is going to have to be very, very diligent with their passes and quick on the ball because, as you can see there, they're going to press. They press Doyle, two-man press, and he went down. But they're very strong in their defensive shape as they line up here for the free kick.
It'll be about 25 yards out, and it will be Evan Bayless, the senior, the star, who we've seen in the midfield, who will take this. Three-man wall for Greenwich.
Looks like he's going to try and swing it in. I'm not sure how successful a shot on goal would be here.
7 guys to aim at for Bayless. 3 on the left, 4 on the right. Bayless goes for a goal, and it is saved and then gobbled up by the goalie. That is Adam Murad, one of the senior goalkeepers, one of 4 on this team, who made 4 saves in the matchup just 2 weeks ago here at Dunning.
Pays to have an experienced goalkeeper, as you can see with Alex Walter, who's played since the beginning of the New Canaan Football Club program at the youth level.
Not a great feed from Murad as Bayless wins it, but Greenwich does well to hold on to possession.
Goes out for a Greenwich throw-in.
That's George Eunice there winning the throw-in for this Darien team. And you talk about experience. How about the coaching for Greenwich? Kurt Putnam is in his 20th season as the varsity head coach for this Greenwich team. Since 2001, that's longer than we've been alive, by the way. 8 FCAC championships. He's won 5 of them. He won FCAC Coach of the Year 2005, 2007, and 2013. He's qualified for FCACs in 17 out of 19 years, and he's well on his way to year number 18 of 20. And as the head coach, he has the highest winning percentage in the FCAC conference over the past decade. And Greenwich has fielded 22 All-State players, 3 All-New Englanders, and 1 All-American. So unbelievable job from Putnam with the Cardinals, as he knows his team very well.
Certainly sounds like a very decorated manager and one who knows how to get the best out of all of his players, as you can see tonight with Greenwich looking like the stronger team so far with about 10 minutes into the first half.
Throwing for Greenwich in their own half. Lovely ball over the top, but Walter will get there as he gets his gloves to it. Greenwich rocking with the front 3, has done well pressing so far on this New Canaan team. Walter is going to have to be alert throughout the majority of this one, as that's William Flynn, the senior there, who was looking to get on the score sheet. He was one of 2 goal scorers in that game at Dunning 2 weeks ago. Flynn and Boone, who's another co-captain, another senior, they had the 2 goals in that clean sheet. And so far for Greenwich this year, 25 goals they've scored and just 2 they've given up, plus 23 goal differential. Last year, it's already outpaced last year where they had 35 goals for and 13 against. So another great season from this Cardinals team as they look to continue it tonight against NC.
Michael Norton over here on the close side with a throw-in, going long to Kelvin Carvalho.
Bayless looking to continue it as he gets the ball back in the midfield. And a ball down this left-hand side is kept in. Nice job there from New Canaan on the left wing as they're pressing Greenwich, and they get that throw-in. Ashton Healy was the one flying down that left-hand side, keeping the ball in for NC. But actually it will be a Greenwich throw-in in the end. New Canaan looking to press, but Greenwich keeps the ball and now advances it into the attacking half. A run here for Greenwich, onside and a cross that was blocked. Nice job there from Michael Norton as he moves it with pace, but turns the ball over. A couple men here for Greenwich. Nice passing, as it was number 22, Marco Tischler, the junior midfielder, looking to get a shot there, but New Canaan did well. Bayless looking to penetrate the back. Popped back up, and Norton doesn't win the header, but wins the throw.
Going back to that last play where Greenwich seemed to build up to that threatening counterattack with some pace. They played a really, really clean through ball into their strikers, something that we've seen multiple times this game so far. And they win a free kick after Doyle takes down one of their players.
That was Gent Kashi there, a senior D-man, winning the foul. As the ball right just about on the 50-yard line will be sent in from Greenwich. A short cross doesn't quite reach anyone, only the New Canaan players, as a shot goes through the crossbar and up into the parking lot. That was Andrew Lowett, the junior, who's listed on the roster as a midfielder and a defenseman, took a shot from about 30 yards out. Well over everyone's head.
Going to be a short goal kick here with the new rule that you can play goal kicks into the penalty box, something that has changed since past seasons.
Another turnover here from New Canaan. Uncharacteristic of them is a through ball played in and cut out there. A great job there from New Canaan at the back. Looked like that was Irving Dorman again, as Walter got a hold of it, and now there's a Greenwich player on his knees as everyone catches their breath.
Irving Dorman was one of 4 players to make the varsity team as a freshman, and he's certainly pulling his weight this season, playing center back.
The other 3 players you mentioned, Jake Bosman, whose brother Thomas is also on this team. He's a senior. Lorenzo Marsili and Irving Dorman. Those are the 4 guys that made the team last year. The varsity team as freshmen.
Long punt from Walter, looking for Evan Bayless, but finding only a Greenwich player.
Both teams controlling possession well as Catlin receives the ball in the midfield, looking for Carvalho, who has some pace down this right-hand side, but can't quite get to it, as the Cardinals do well to prevent a counterattack. That's certainly, if New Canaan is going to score tonight, they're going to have to score on the counter, given how well New Canaan does, given how well Greenwich does, with the possession.
Quick turnover from New Canaan to Greenwich as they look to break, but it was out off of a mistimed pass for a New Canaan throw.
And you can certainly tell so far the chemistry with this team, they've been together for so long, as you mentioned, has already started to be evident here from the defense back into the midfield as they look for counterattacks of their own.
Yeah, certainly different philosophies from Greenwich versus they're looking for the experience and the physical strength of their seniors with the 21 rostered to only the 1 sophomore, whereas last season from New Canaan, this season being a bit different because of COVID, of course, last season New Canaan rostering 4 freshmen on their varsity team.
A much less experienced New Canaan team. That certainly shows in the record. Last year, New Canaan was 3-9-4, finished 7th out of 9 in the FCIAC East. And the year before, 3-11-2. This is Luke Green's 3rd season, and he already has 2 wins under his belt. Obviously, as we all know by now, a shortened season due to COVID in this newly created FCIAC West. Greenwich, Darien, West Hill, NC, Stanford, and Wright Tech in this division. New Canaan 2-4, Greenwich 5-0.
Greenwich doing well to hold onto the ball in the midfield, but playing a long through ball that didn't find anyone but Alex Walter, the junior goalkeeper for New Canaan.
Carvalho now, as he passes into this Greenwich defensive side, he plays a ball long for Evan Bayless. He gets there, crosses it in, and it will be out for a goal kick. It actually did go out. Bayless thinking he kept it in. Certainly looked like it was very close, but in the end, it is a goal kick. These 2 teams have obviously played each other twice already. That was due to the fact that Stanford and West Hill were on a 2-week quarantine, and the schedules got flipped up a little bit. Greenwich and New Canaan, this is actually, tonight was supposed to be their first meeting, but due to the quarantine, they switched up the schedules a little bit, which is why Darien and Wright Tech have played each other a couple times. And so have, obviously, Greenwich and New Canaan. West Hill and Stanford resuming play today as they are back now on the turf. And the 4th meeting between these 2 sides was supposed to be on Monday, but that has been postponed due to the fact they want to get everyone to play twice before even 4 times, let alone 3, which is obviously this is the 3rd meeting between those 2 tonight.
West Hill's only played 3 games, so far this season, coming in with a 2-0-1 record. And Stanford has played 2 games with an 1-1 record.
West Hill certainly helped out Greenwich by beating Darien as Greenwich's lead increases on this FCIAC West. They're certainly favorites to win this, as you mentioned, Cole, and they're certainly playing like it so far this year and in this game so far.
Yes, very, very consistent play from the Greenwich team, as we've seen throughout this season, as it looks like Henry Lindbergh chasing down a ball on the left side. Played out of bounds by goalkeeper Alex Murad.
Murad had to be quick as it's thrown in quickly, headed from Catlin back to Carvalho. Catlin gets it back. New Canaan resets with Carvalho, but it's taken away nicely from Greenwich as it's Hugh Jones who plays it on this left-hand side.
Big tackle from Aiden McLaughlin, the sophomore center back.
Preventing any further damage for the moment was McLaughlin, but the ball from Andrew Lowett, the junior, couldn't find anyone, only finds the gloves of Alex Walter. Approaching the halfway point here in the first half. Cole, what have you liked from both sides?
I think New Canaan's been showing some consistency up in the attacking half with their passing, looking much more controlled with Doyle leading the midfield. And Greenwich has been threatening with the through balls as predicted from the start of the game with their first attack in the first 30 seconds. Greenwich has been continuously trying to find the gaps through the 5-man New Canaan defense.
New Canaan rolled out with that in the start of that Darien game, the first game of the year that we covered. They lost that game 1-0 on a late goal, but they certainly looked a bit more promising when they were adapted to the back four. We'll see how long Coach Green sticks with that back five tonight. Dorman plays out of danger deep in the New Canaan half, but Greenwich certainly knows where the balls are coming as they've been moving their defense up more and more as they look to press this New Canaan team and find an opportunity.
Senior captain Henry Lindbergh unsuccessful in chasing down that ball as it's played back, and Greenwich is up for another counterattack.
Lowett over to the right-hand side. Doing well is Milan Afshar, the junior, as he plays it to Catlin, who advances it to Carvalho, and now back to Bayless as New Canaan looks to break.
Bayless breaking on the right, options here on the left, but plays it long for Henry Lindbergh to chase down as he takes out the Greenwich player, and it's out for a goal kick, I believe.
That's correct. Lindbergh looking for a corner kick, but instead turns out to be a goal kick for Greenwich.
Greenwich taking their time retrieving the ball. They have no rush here in this first half with 20 minutes gone, approaching the halfway point.
Greenwich slowing it down a bit here on this goal kick, which is allowed to be taken by the defenseman. A push there on New Canaan, that's on Afshar. And Greenwich will get another free kick right around the 50-yard line. Walter trying to delay this as much as possible. So New Canaan's been doing it really throughout the majority of this match, knowing that Greenwich is certainly the heavily favored team in this one. Hugh Jones floats it up and headed out there from McLaughlin and back down to Norton, who clears
Norton
it out.
playing it long, trying to find Bayless, but he's unsuccessful as he's shielded from the Greenwich player.
That was Gashi there working on Bayless and doing well. Obviously, Evan Bayless, really one of the best players on this team, former Beachside club soccer player, has a goal this season, scored a wonderful half volley in the first game against Wright Tech on senior night. A shot was deflected and dangerously could have come down for Greenwich. And then an off-balance shot from, that's Matthias Liu, one of the senior co-captains. One of the easier saves Walters had to make tonight. Certainly he's had to make a handful already.
Passing it around in the defense here is Fannin and McLaughlin, playing it back to the goalkeeper, Alex Walter.
McLaughlin again, as it seems like Michael Norton has advanced here on a turnover potentially, but Norton redeems Jack Fannin as he continues along this right-hand side looking for Carvalho, but Bayless recovers. Catlin does well to get past his man, now has two guys to aim at, and goes for that through ball on the left-hand side, but nobody's getting there. That was Ashton Healy, the junior, a midfielder. He's trying to outrun that pass, but could not do so. And you look at the records from these teams last year in this new FCAC West. Darien was 6-6-4. Greenwich was 10-4-2. They won the FCAC West. They actually came in third in the FCAC East, which is usually where these teams play. But obviously due to COVID and the travel restrictions, just a 6-team division this year. Stanford 7-8-1, West Hill 3-11-2, Wright Tech 1-10, along with New Canaan's 3-9-4. Total record of 30, 48, and 13. So certainly Greenwich is by far the best team in this conference.
Yes, you mentioned Wright Tech, who joined the conference this year after coming from the CT Tech conference, which was disbanded due to COVID regulations, which is forming up next season after Wright Tech has been struggling so far this season to compete with some of these strong other teams who aren't focused as much on their...
Danger is here for Greenwich as a shot goes wide. That was number 25, William Flynn, the senior, who floated past the New Canaan back four and got a wonderful ball in, but looks like Coley went with his right foot instead of going with his left.
Yes, it's something I see in high school players quite often, is not having the confidence to take it off of their weak foot, something that will come with time and practice.
Biggest opportunity for either of these sides so far. And it will be Irving Dorman with the goal kick. It's a great ball to Evan Bayless if he can get past his man. Can't quite do so. Is doing well there was Ryan Smith. Back into the midfield, and another ball over the top from Greenwich.
The New Canaan back five and their midfield tracking back to find it again, as it's one on the far side of the field, but played back.
And a shot is saved there from Walter and cleared out by Norton. A shot from the midfield.
Walter's best save so far in this half, as he's been asked to step up quite a few times.
A bit of an unexpected shot, given it was about 25 yards out, but Walter was on his toes. It'll be a throw-in here for Greenwich. It's Hugh Jones to throw it in, headed along dangerously into the center, and out only to Matthias Liu. Greenwich doing a good job holding in possession of the ball, but New Canaan an even better job making sure there are no second chances. Carvalho on this right-hand flank. This press for Greenwich is working very well as Flynn wins it back on this left-hand side, but Fannin looking for the goal kick. Won't get it as McLaughlin finally clears it out for a Greenwich throw.
Fannin did a good job tracking back there after initially losing the ball through a miscommunication, not knowing that there was a Greenwich player behind him, but shielding the ball successfully until the Greenwich player, until Aiden McLaughlin was able to clear it.
Another throw in here from Greenwich. Dangerous again, a left-footed effort, and then a wonderful volleying effort for Greenwich, and that is goal number 1 for the Cardinals. What a flying volley as he took it off the bounce. As we believe it's Alejandro Rodriguez San Pedro who scores that one for Greenwich. A wonderful goal. Walter has made many saves, but that one was unstoppable, and Greenwich finally has their lead.
That was an incredible shot there. Something I have not seen at a high school level before.
Well, when you're 5-0 and you have a majority of the possession, you can take chances like that. And a wonderful right-footed shot into the top right corner. Not many goalkeepers on this planet are saving that, let alone Alex Walter, who certainly has been fantastic, but not many people are stopping that remarkable shot. The junior gets the Cardinals on the board, and now they can play with a lead.
You wonder if he's practiced that in practice before, or whether that was just a culmination of all of his skills so far as their senior striker.
Certainly neither of us have been in a Greenwich practice, but certainly with the technique there, it looks like he's practiced that once before, maybe not in a game, but made the most of his opportunity as he gives Greenwich the lead.
Alex Walter with a long punt trying to find Henry Lindbergh on the left side of the field, but it goes out for a Greenwich throw-in.
And this is where, for Greenwich, when you get a lead, you can hold on to the ball, you can calm down a little bit, and that's certainly what they're doing here. A quick throw in from New Canaan, as now they're working from behind. Carvalho gets a heavy touch, and it will be a foul in favor of New Canaan. An elbow there from Jonathan Gonzalez, the senior midfielder.
Looks like Irving Dorman is stepping up to take this free kick. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinging ball to the top of the penalty arc.
Dorman from about the 35-yard line will swing it in. Has Norton to his right, but a high arcing cross could have been there, could have fallen for New Canaan, but a great punch there from Murad. And another ball played back in, could not find a red jersey.
Threatening low cross there, looking for Milan Afshar, who might have been in an offside position, but was looking to capitalize on that chance.
New Canaan playing with a bit more intensity here now that they're playing from behind, but a great opportunity, a great ball in there from Irving Dorman, and an even better job from the senior Murad to get a punch on it, as there were a couple red jerseys looking to get a head on it. It'll be a foul for New Canaan, as it's Afshar that goes down.
Challenged by number 27, Mateus Liu, one of the senior co-captains.
Coach Green on the sidelines giving his orders, looking to replicate the success of that last free kick. It'll be Dorman again. This time it's Norton to his left if he plays it short. But the goal scorer, San Pedro, is waiting right there. Ball floated in, and no one will get there as Murad lets it bounce over his head and out for a goal kick. It'll be a substitution here for the Cardinals. Gashi, the senior D-man, will come off, take a breather.
Short goal kick from senior captain Ryan Smith.
Coming on for the Cardinals is Tom Mufelman, the senior midfielder. And a turnover here from New Canaan. Let's see if Greenwich can capitalize. A ball played back, and there is goal number 2. A wonderful pass there. That was from Pedro, and that comes back to William Flynn on a right-footed shot, beats Alex Walter. And Greenwich now has a 2-0 lead as they capitalize on the New Canaan turnover, something you just can't afford if you're the Rams. And Greenwich showing their true colors here as they take a 2-0 lead as we approach the 10-minute mark in the first half. Goes to show you, Cole, that against such an experienced team, really, those turnovers, you just can't have them happen.
Yes, a threatening chance from the start as Alex Walter had to come out but was not able to make the save from a very close range.
The assist comes from San Pedro, who now has a goal and assist tonight. The junior having himself a nice evening to begin this one. Backed up in the New Canaan half are the Rams. So they look to play it out with Dorman, who can tell clearly has a pretty big right leg, as we've seen with a couple of those nice crosses in already. Fannin heads it to this near side.
Going out for a Greenwich throw-in after he cannot find Michael Norton on the header.
The junior right back has certainly been challenged tonight with this great left-hand side of this Greenwich team. Header comes back to Hugh Jones. And he does well to get past Carvalho, a left-footed cross as Walter punches it out. Wasn't very confident with that one. Luckily, no Greenwich player was there to pounce on it. New Canaan struggling to get out of their own half. As a through ball here for Greenwich is a great one. Back to the middle and just wide. That was William Flynn looking for goal number 2. Some of the best play from Greenwich here. A great through ball and then another one back into the middle of the box, and Flynn with a right-footed effort from about 10 yards out just missed as it went just past the left post.
Squared it across the box. I really thought that was going to be goal number 3 there for the Cardinals.
They scored 6 the last time these two teams played, and they nearly had goal number 3, as we're not even 8 minutes left in this first half. Walter has certainly been busy in this one.
His performance can't really be faulted that much, though. He's had one punch maybe about a minute ago where he could have hit it with more conviction, but other than that, the 2 goals that were scored were not goalkeeper-led errors.
Certainly, I think a lack of communication is something certainly Coach Green can maybe improve upon, because there have been plenty of times that this Greenwich team has pressed and there hasn't been a ton of communication, which really led to that 3rd goal. Working down this left-hand side is Doyle Catlin, but Greenwich does well to get the ball back. That's only momentarily. Bayless wins it, but Greenwich once again gets it back. And back to the left-hand side is Gonzalez. Had Smith in the middle, but it comes back out in a heavy touch here as Evan Bayless looks to lead and attack the other way for the Rams. Bayless moving in with a lot of speed. Slows it down for Catlin.
Catlin slowing it down, playing it back to, looks like, Ashton Healy.
The junior Healy, that is. Back to Norton, another junior, moving towards the middle of the pitch. Has plenty of room now, plays it down this left-hand side for Carvalho, who gets there, and a low cross to the near post is dug up by Murad as she was looking for Henry Lindbergh.
Good to see threatening crosses coming in from New Canaan, though, something that has been sparse in quantity so far in this game, but we've seen that New Canaan is capable of playing.
Gonzalez plays it over here to Flynn on this left-hand side, who has the 2nd goal for Greenwich and nearly had a 3rd one. Lou plays it, looking for his teammate. Could not find him, and it'll be another New Canaan throw. That was Marco Tischler, the junior midfielder, who seems like he's playing a little bit more of a striking position tonight.
Playing it back to Dorman, who plays it through the center, nearly given away, but Doyle Catlin comes out with it as he drives up the field. Options to his right and left, playing it long, looking for Kelvin Carvalho, but he goes down.
A heavy foul here as Catlin is down, looking for Carvalho on the right-hand side. Had 2 guys to his left, and getting a word from the referee is Jonathan Gonzalez, the senior, who certainly came in with a higher boot as Catlin is down, as teammates are surrounding him. And play will be stopped here with just under 6 minutes to go. Catlin gets up, looks like he will be okay, which is a good sign from the man who just committed to Denison. So certainly he does not want to risk his collegiate career. Certainly a bright future ahead of that young man. It'll be Bayless here to play in up top. It's a good ball behind, and a header there on this near side. Looked like that was Lindbergh who got his head to it.
Threatening position at the corner of the 6-yard box for Lindbergh, but unable to find the angle to put it into the top corner of the goal.
Another great ball there from New Canaan as the Cardinals will make a couple substitutions. Checking in is Cam Heitkamp, the senior midfielder. Looks like he will play along the near side in the midfield. Headed by Afshar, and Heitkamp gets his first touch on the ball. That is with his head. Lindbergh looking to press, but Greenwich does well to hold on possession once again.
Greenwich with the give and go on the far side of the field, coming out with the ball.
Wonderful ball back and chipped up onto this left-hand side where Heitkamp is there.
Some good one-time passes so far from this Greenwich team in this build-up, but it goes out for a New Canaan throw. Kelvin Carvalho looking to take it quickly.
That was Hugh Jones with that uncharacteristic mistake, as Norton will throw it in. As we get to the fading stage of this first half, Bayless looking to win the header. McLaughlin with a thorough header that couldn't find anyone. And Heitkamp again working on this left-hand side. Norton does well to get his body in the way. And Fannin is there to clear it out only as far as Carvalho. McLaughlin with not a great clear, but it'll work as this back five is right there to clear any balls that are not cleared the first time, preventing any second chance opportunities. Ryan Smith working on this left-hand side. Norton again trying to outmuscle him, but that doesn't work. And a chance that could have been for the Cardinals. But the ball is won back, and Heitkamp can't quite cross it in as Doyle Catlin was there all the way from a striking position. You can tell, Cole, that these striking players for New Canaan really have to play so far back just because Greenwich team is so lethal in the attacking half.
Yes, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, has certainly been adapting, and they've been requiring more and more of the strikers in midfield as they track back as the ball goes in, and Alex Walter catches it cleanly.
Took a bit of a deflection off of Fannin, but Walter was still there to hold on to it. So he will take as much time as necessary. New Canaan, 16 goals they've scored this year. 15 of them were against Wright Tech in those two games. They've given up 12. And actually now 14 if you update it with the 2 goals the Cardinals have already scored tonight.
Cardinals win it back in the center of the field off of a New Canaan header.
And playing in here looking for, that's Flynn. Could not find him as it was a heavy touch from Tischler. As you can hear the voice of Kurt Putnam for the first time tonight. Clearly frustrated with some of his team's play, but overall, Cole, you really can't be too disappointed with a 2-0 lead and really domination of possession.
Yes, certainly been a Greenwich game so far, but New Canaan has had some threatening opportunities, such as here, Kelvin Carvello on the near side.
Looking to run that down, and he can't quite do so.
Ball goes out for a Greenwich throw-in.
Approaching the 2-minute mark in half number 1. Greenwich with a 2-0 lead. Goals from Rodriguez San Pedro, the junior, and William Flynn, the junior and the senior on the score sheet. But New Canaan looking to maybe get one last chance of the half. It's Afshar who gets shoved down. It'll be a free kick for New Canaan, maybe one of the last opportunities for either side in this first half. It'll be Bayless who will take it on the right-hand side as Greenwich marks up on the Rams. 5 or 6 to aim for Bayless. Right-footed cross, swings it in, a great one, looking for a head, and another, and nearly a chance for New Canaan. Couldn't quite fall with a powerful head, and another chance as Murad came out of goal. But fortunately for the Cardinals, still a clean sheet, and now Murad plays it out for Flynn on this right-hand side, looking for another opportunity. He goes down, but from the floor, he makes a nice pass.
Scrambles in the Greenwich box off of that free kick, but Greenwich is over here on the close side of the field, looking to play across into the middle of the box.
Cross looked like it went off a hand. It deflects off of a New Canaan defenseman and goes out for a Greenwich throw. Not much time left in this first half. End-to-end play we've seen for the first time tonight. Chance for New Canaan on their side, and then Greenwich nearly had one. Looked like it went off an elbow of a Cardinal player. Headed back out in a bicycle effort. Couldn't quite find a teammate. Looked like it was going to be a pass in the end instead of a shot with the bicycle kick.
Alex Walter pounced on that effectively, though, winning the ball back and securing it as he plays it long, and the first half comes to an end.
Greenwich leads 2-0 after half number 1 of this boys soccer game. Here we are inside the press box here at Dunning Stadium. Austin Platt alongside Cole Schubert. The Cardinals, certainly this game is in their favor. Obviously their favorite team, 5-0. The record's in their favor. But what have you liked from the Cardinals so far?
They've been very threatening offensively and very very strong in their defense as well, shutting down New Canaan's counterattacks and their crosses effectively throughout this entire first half.
Both these teams have adjusted well to the other one's play style, given the fact they've played each other twice already. This is the third and probably the final meeting between these two sides. New Canaan, what do you? If you're Coach Green, what do you say in this halftime talk?
I think more shots on goal. Test the goalkeeper. See if you can find a corner from outside the box. Opportunities inside the box are limited, but with the strong counterattacks and the speed that the New Canaan offense has, I think that they could find a way back into this game as they're 2-0 down.
We'll have to see if New Canaan can mount a comeback. We'll see you on the other side of halftime.
No, I cannot play anymore until I fix it. I think it goes on your leg, yeah. No, mine comes from here. It's not that. It's here and it comes here. It comes here. Yeah. There is a lot. Mine comes here. All the way here. So mine is, I want to take off 10 different doctors and 10, now I think we basically getting to, it looks like we need to do some SI joint, maybe a surgery, maybe, I've been doing crazy stuff. Like they do this PRP, they take my blood, they take the blood test, and then they inject it there, and I did that already, and look, I don't know if it helps. The first time I did it was, yeah, but I think your problem is more sciatica. I think it's just muscles. Yeah, but I remember that when you were playing, sometimes you feel it here, and then it starts to go down. So I think because of what you said, I don't do so much research. I think it's sciatica. You might, I don't know. I do have some good doctors, but my problem is this. And tomorrow they're going to do since I don't have any structural problem, it shouldn't be a problem. So that's when it first gets done. You can get Sunday I don't see
back here, not quite for halftime, but we'd first like to thank our sponsors of the NC Rams All Sports Booster Club. Our platinum sponsors first, Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. Then onto our silver sponsors, Performance Optimal Health, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners LLC, Rand Insurance, and finally our black sponsors, Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports NC, New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Austin Feeney. Finally, the NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all of the NC Rams athletics. Here we are as the buzzer sounds, and we are ready for half number 2 between the Greenwich Cardinals and the New Canaan Rams. The two teams swap sides. Greenwich with a 2-0 lead, goals from San Pedro, the junior, and William Flynn, the senior, in this newly created FCAC West Division to accommodate for the year 2020, which has certainly brought some unexpected challenges. Currently, Greenwich is on top of the division, 5-0, and they're halfway there to 6-0. Darien 4-2, West Hill 2-0-1. New Canaan is 2-4, riding that 2-game win streak off of those 2 blowout wins against Wright Tech, but it could very well come to an end tonight. But Cole, if they want to take something out of this game and get a couple of goals, what do they need to do?
New Canaan has to apply a lot more pressure and hopefully win the ball back in their half, look for a quick counterattack, and play. They have some very strong strikers and other offensive players, and I've seen them in practice. They can hit the shot, and if they get that shot off, there's quite a large chance that they do score.
Underway here in half number 2, Greenwich in the whites, moving from left to right now. Some quick play here is Henry Lindbergh with a turnover. Wins the ball back and has Evan Bayless to his left. Plays it down this left-hand side. Bayless does well to get to it. And quickly a New Canaan throw.
The throw is left for Ashton Healy, the junior.
New Canaan with a quick start here. That's exactly what they need. Down 2-0. Coach Luke Green clearly must have motivated this team to start well in the second half. Catlin over to Afshar. And back to Fan, and he will play it all the way back to the junior goalie, Alex Walter, who's had to make a handful of saves so far. 2 of them he couldn't stop. One of them was one of the best goals certainly I've ever seen. That came from William Flynn on that wonderful side volley with that right foot, a flying volley. Henry Lindbergh, that is, can't quite keep it in.
Greenwich senior George Yunus taking the throw. Greenwich holding possession here in the midfield, looking for a space to infiltrate and penetrate the back line of the New Canaan team.
Doing well here was Hugh Jones. He swings one in, and looking for his second goal of the night was William Flynn. Couldn't quite see the ball clearly as it went off the side of his head. Another chance is just wide. A wonderful effort from the right foot as the Cardinal striker swung around and tried to take that one first time. But Walter dives to his left.
Yes, he sent Alex Walter scrambling, but He had that corner covered and was not letting that one in.
It'll be Irving Dorman, the sophomore, to kick it up all the way as he looked for Bayless, who was looking for a foul, but Lindbergh does well to continue possession. Plays the ball into the middle. Carvalho could be in here with the goalie out, looking to find someone to his right, but instead just brings the ball right back to himself. Another chance for Lindbergh. He moves in. Henry Lindbergh, but a great job from Greenwich to prevent any further opportunity. Great start for New Canaan here, Cole, just 2.5 minutes into the second half.
Two strong chances that they could have capitalized on so far in the second half, as you said, Austin, as Murad plays it long.
It'll be Fenn in there as it comes back to the midfield. It'll be a foul for Greenwich, as it looks like Kelvin Carvalho, the senior striker on the right side, looked like he was dealing with a bit of an injury. This ball is played along the left-hand side. 1-2 to aim at, as Walter couldn't quite catch it the first time, but no one was there on the doorstep for the Cardinals as he rolls it out to
Irving Dorman playing it wide to Ashton Healy, who's played quite a few minutes in this game so far. Obviously impressing Coach Luke.
An effort looking to go over the top that is number 10, Liam Suarez Becker, the senior midfielder, seeing some action here in the second half.
Long throw up the field for New Canaan as it's brought down by Henry Lindbergh and passed into Milan Afshar in the middle of the field. Doyle Catlin scrambling, looking to bring it out as New Canaan win it back. And the counterattack is on. Only cut out by Ryan Smith, the senior co-captain.
Swings it right up nearly to us in the press box. Couldn't quite get there. This is the third of 3 meetings, we believe, between these two sides. They played 2 weeks ago here at Dunning. Greenwich won by the exact same score of what's on the scoreboard right now, that being 2-0. And then they won 6-0 at Greenwich just 5 days later. Another opportunity potentially here for Greenwich along this left-hand side. It's Hugh Jones, the junior.
Michael Norton matching him at a sprint, but Greenwich winning the ball back after it looked like it took a deflection.
A left-footed effort, and that's goal number 3. A beauty for Greenwich, their second wonderful goal of the evening. Number 22, Marco Tischler, who's seen some action. The first chance was a cross for Greenwich. It was deflected from New Canaan. It came right to Tischler, who thought about a right-footed shot, went with the left foot, and certainly made the right decision as he beats Alex Walter. Fantastic rising shot into the top left corner. And
Alex Walter was outstretched there, but was unable to get to that one.
It's now 3-0 to Greenwich as they continue to pour it on in terms of goals this year. They scored 7 goals in both their meetings against Wright Tech. They scored 3 against Darien, who's certainly their biggest competition, but no one's looking like competition right now for Greenwich.
Looks like an issue of one of the Greenwich players not having shin guards in as play resumes here for New Canaan.
A foul in favor of New Canaan as Catlin went down, the Denison commit just earlier this week. A great week for him, given the fact that New Canaan has won twice, got their first 2 wins of the year against Wright Tech, who only won 1 game last year in that CTC conference and still is winless so far on this FCAC West, proving why the FCAC really in every sport is one of the best conferences throughout the state of Connecticut. Free kick for New Canaan, looking for Doyle Catlin, but it's held on to by Andrew Lowett, the junior midfielder for this Cardinals team. It'll be a foul for Greenwich. Greenwich has not only had success this year, but last year as well, finishing in first and the best of these 6 teams in this new conference, finishing 10-4-2, lost in the FCAC quarters to Wilton 2-1, but certainly made up for that by going all the way to the state championship last year, winning 4 times and upsetting 4 teams as the 14 seed as they lost the 5 seed Hall 3-1.
Aiden McLaughlin playing it out for a throw-in for Greenwich as they move up the field.
Greenwich is actually in Class Double L, while New Canaan is in Class L, so New Canaan is one tier behind Greenwich, and as you can certainly tell that Greenwich is the better team. Bayless looking to create a counterattack, but a bad clearance could lead to something here for New Canaan. Henry Lindbergh looking to get possession of the ball. Irving Dorman does just that as he looks to play it to Bayless, but too far to his left. As Murad has it now and finally puts his gloves on it.
Murad wasting time holding the ball at his feet, waiting until one of the New Canaan players came to challenge him for it.
Certainly, the Cardinals are in no rush here, but certainly the last thing you want to do is have a man sent off as there's a foul by Rodriguez San Pedro, who scored the first goal. Number 26, the junior. 21 seniors and 8 juniors. 29 out of 30 players on this roster are upperclassmen, which is just unbelievable to think about. And speaking of experience, Coach Putnam for Greenwich has been there. This is his 20th season. Year number 2-0, and he still has a 0 in the losing column. This team is still undefeated, and it looks like they will remain that way after tonight. A ball sent in dangerously. No one could get there, and it nearly bounced over the head of the senior goalie, Murad. He's thankful no one was right near him to potentially grab a consolation for NC as he boots this one up as Catlin plays it down.
A goal would certainly give New Canaan the momentum that they need to get back into this game, as it's won back by Greenwich on the far side of the field. But Greenwich under pressure in their own half, playing it back.
New Canaan doing well to press here as they look for something, and even if New Canaan looks like they're going to lose this game, but really anything, just a goal, any sort of confidence as a ball over the top is played by McLaughlin will really help this team going forward. They play West Hill and Stanford. They play them 4 times combined. Both those teams, West Hill and Stanford, were in quarantine over the last 2 weeks. They've resumed play just this week, which is why these two teams, the Cardinals and the Rams, this is their 3rd meeting. The schedule had to be flip-flopped a little bit. This was actually tonight was supposed to be their first meeting, but the FCAC did not want every team to be off for 2 weeks just because 2 of the teams were in quarantine. So they decided to pit these 2 teams earlier this month, which, as you can assume, did not make many of the fans here at New Canaan happy. They have to play the best team 2 more times. But good news for them, the 4th meeting, which is supposed to be on Monday at Greenwich, has been postponed and probably will not be played unless there's enough time and enough room in each of these teams' schedules to fit in another match.
It certainly has been a crazy season, Austin, with the JV and freshman teams for boys soccer only playing 5 games this season, 1 each Saturday, which has not been seen before, as most games are played on weekdays like this one here.
Carvalho looking to win the ball in the midfield. His blistering pace doesn't work out for him. There's another through ball here potentially for Greenwich. That was number 10, Liam Suarez-Becker, looking to play a ball in as Irving Dorman advances it to the right-hand side. Too far for Lindbergh. Coach Putnam, as we mentioned, has been here since 2001 for Greenwich. 8 FCAC championships. He's won 5 of them, 2005, 2007, 2013. Those 3 years he also won FCAC Coach of the Year, and then won in 2016 and 2017. A great resume for the Cardinals. He establishes himself as certainly one of the best coaches in the FCAC of all time, and definitely up there in terms of Connecticut coaches as he continues his illustrious career.
George Yunus for Greenwich can't make the throw to another Greenwich player as it's won back by New Canaan.
Making a run down the left-hand side was Healy. The ball finds him, and it will be, looks like a throw into NC. Healy finds Bayless looking to make a run on this left-hand side. A high cross, couldn't quite connect with Carvalho. And it will be a throw-in to Greenwich, as this New Canaan crowd really been silenced by this Cardinals' potent offense. It's number 2 here, George Eunice, the senior on this near side. Plays it to Flynn, one of the goal scorers, but cut out by Catlin as Afshar looks to advance it. Wonderful pass that nutmegged Tischler, the third goal scorer, on that wonderful left-footed shot from distance. It'll be another Greenwich throw. Just over 10 minutes gone by in half number 2.
George Yunez with the throw back to senior captain Ryan Smith as it goes out off of Evan Bayless for another Greenwich throw.
That one hurt up here just looking at it as he took one right off the noggin, but he'll be okay. Former Beachside Club soccer player, so certainly he's taken a couple of hits here and there. Greenwich does well to hold on to the ball again. They're in no rush for anything, really, just looking to hold on to it. And really their goal probably right now is just to keep that clean sheet, something that managers at all levels really like to see. No matter how many goals you score, you'd love to see a goose egg on the other end. Ball played across, another chance potentially chipped back, and a volley that was attempted by San Pedro. Couldn't find anyone, but Greenwich still holds on to the ball. But Evan Bayless turns around and finds that is Carvalho on the right-hand side. Picks up the ball after it goes out, but it turns out to be a Cardinals throw. Buchanan really looking to press here. Haven't found much success so far, while Greenwich is certainly willing to stay back. As we'll see several substitutions on both sides. Checking in is Nick Lambrinos for New Canaan.
Greenwich has certainly looked like they've shifted into a deeper formation, but playing very possession-based soccer as they look to control this game. Much more possession than the first half, but New Canaan did start off this half strong, and it is possible, very possible, that they do have quite a few more opportunities in which to gain back some momentum with a goal or two.
Lambrinos, number 13, the senior, comes on for New Canaan in the midfield, as does Colin Byrne, another senior, number 17, who you'll see at right back. Michael Norton still in the game for New Canaan as he looks to win the ball in the defensive half. Also in for New Canaan is Jake Bosman, the sophomore, who we alluded to earlier, one of the few players that made varsity last year as a freshman. And doing well is Irving Dorman. He's got passes to his left or to his right. Has Lindbergh continuing a run on this left-hand side. Finds him. Lindbergh looking to beat out his man, but a great job there from the Cardinals. It's number 6, Lowett.
Doyle Catlin retrieving the ball and playing it back into Ashton Healy, the junior, who does not find Fannin, and it's a ball played long from Greenwich, which rests safely in Alex Walter's hands.
Bit of miscommunication there from the Cardinals as they're looking for Flynn. Was number 19, Romulo Sarto, the senior, who's now seeing some action here. Greenwich holding on possession in their own half. It's Mufelman who gets the ball here on this left-hand side as he advances into the New Canaan half. Plays a wonderful ball in, but cannot find. Looking for Flynn.
Alex Walter coming out to the edge of the right side of the penalty box and diving to grab that ball.
Out again from Irving Dorman. And over the top, but it will be a foul.
An offsides call on Greenwich, it looks like.
That is the call. It will be offsides. New Canaan looks to play it quickly, but the referee's having none of that as he says the ball needs to be moved back a little bit. Fannin will retreat a couple of yards and place the ball down for Irving Dorman, the sophomore.
Irving's been looking like the heavily favored spot taker so far in this game as he's taken a lot of the free kicks and goal kicks. No, sorry, not goal kicks, just free kicks for the team.
Evan Bayless is certainly the other guy who Coach Green favors when looking in the attacking half as they get free kicks and set pieces, looking for goals. As Bayless for a turnover and looking to see if Greenwich was not on their toes, which really they've been fantastic all night. Really, everything has to be said and applauded to Kurt Putnam, who certainly prepared this team well for this game. Certainly much easier when they've already played each other twice and they know each other's styles.
Long throw from Greenwich on the far side, uncontested and brought down by Greenwich as it's played long, but falls to the feet of Irving Dorman.
Lindbergh getting a shout from Healy as he looked for a ball on the left-hand side. But Lindbergh didn't quite see him as Dorman advances the ball. The defenseman looking for Healy that time, but it deflected off of Marco Tischler, the junior. Lambrinos now with the ball in the midfield. And a poor pass from him. As he's communicating with Doyle Catlin. Lambrinos came on about 5 minutes ago. Bit of miscommunication there, and a quick throw in from Greenwich. Flynn with a wonderful back heel. Crossed back in dangerously, but not to anyone. Sarto, the senior forward, was looking to get on to that header. We approach the halfway point.
Alex Walter taking his time trying to find a location, a target in the New Canaan team, looking for Henry Lindbergh, but it falls for a New Canaan throw, it looks like.
And certainly with this game basically out of hand for New Canaan, you really look to see and follow what Coach Green said, and talking with him earlier this week, really focused on the intensity of the defensive pressing and the composure in the attacking half, as he's basically admitted that the way they're going to score is by the counterattacks. And he said he has to be sure the team capitalizes on the few errors that Greenwich is going to make.
A New Canaan throw here on the close side, around the 50-yard line. New Canaan has done a good job with their composure in the attacking half, I feel. How about you, Austin?
Yeah, I think certainly if you look at this New Canaan team, they've had chances on both sides, and it shows that Darien, the experience, is really paying off for this Cardinals team as Flynn moves in again, plays it out wide, but it will go behind for a goal kick. That's where just the experience comes into play, and that's really all it is when you have guys that have played each other for 3-4 years, 21 seniors on this Greenwich team.
New Canaan having 15 rostered seniors in comparison, as Alex Walter lines up this goal kick, leaving it for Irving Dorman.
Greenwich comes into this game 5-0, wins against Wright Tech, 2 wins against Wright Tech, 7-0 and 7-1. Then they beat New Canaan twice. Then they beat Darien 3-1 just last week. That was last Wednesday, so they've had a week off to prepare for this one, and certainly they've prepared well. New Canaan, on the other hand, lost 2 tough games to Darien, 1-0 and 2-1, 2 close games to their arch rival. And they dropped these 2 against Greenwich, and they got back on track just in the past week. A win 8-1 on senior night as they celebrated the seniors with some fireworks. 8 goals from them as many of the seniors got on the scoring sheet. And then they won again 7-0 just on Monday, coming in with some confidence, but Greenwich certainly the better side, and confidence really is something that can be said about Greenwich as well, having not dropped the game yet. Walter had to make a save there. Now another potential opportunity. A shot that could turn into a cross, but Colin Byrne was waiting for Walter to dive on that one.
Quick on his feet, able to pick out both of those crosses coming off of his line. Very effective at this, have you seen multiple times throughout the half, Austin. As well as the rest of the game, in fact.
Yeah, Walter really from the first kickoff needed to be excellent, and he's made a couple of plays that you question, but really in the end, especially with this Greenwich team, the number of chances that they've had, really have to applaud his play. Ball goes all the way out of play into the stands. but Healy plays it back in. Bayless with a deflection, could get onto this one as he has Bosman right behind him.
Very close to that counterattack goal that Coach Luke Green has talked about, with Evan Bayless nearly winning it in the aerial challenge.
And with Bayless's quickness, certainly in just a blink of an eye, he can have an opportunity to score. Fannin cuts that one out. Another ball played back in. Plenty of space in the attacking half for Greenwich, but they don't have anyone there as they've really focused on just playing back and making sure that they don't allow New Canaan to maybe get back into this one with a consolation. Ball played over to Bosman. That's Jake Bosman, who gets a thumbs up from Coach Green there.
Greenwich playing the ball wide, knocking it out for a New Canaan throw-in.
Healy plays it to Lindbergh, who's looking for a cross, and it goes out, and it will be a goal kick. Greenwich was the best of the 6 teams in this FCAC West last year, 10-4-2. And the record between all 6 of these teams was 30, 48, and 13. So certainly Greenwich is the clear strength in this division.
New Canaan looking threatening here on this left side, with Henry Lindbergh looking for a cross in to the center of the box. Falling down but finding it.
Lambrino's back here and out by... Cleared out was Hugh Jones, who's been fantastic in the limited role he's had to play. The junior, who's listed as a midfielder and a defenseman, had to clear it out because it looked like it was Doyle Catlin there looking to get his 4th goal on the season.
Played long by Greenwich. It's a counterattack. Originally just a Greenwich player against Colin Byrne, number 17. But now the ball goes out for a for a Greenwich throw-in as play slows down.
Sarto looked to leave it for William Flynn, the forward who has the 2nd goal on the night. The wonderful flying volley effort that gave Greenwich its 2nd goal of the half. They've added one since. They're playing on this right-hand side and back to the middle. And a shot from that Sarto again was skewed. Catlin has the ball in this midfield. There's a player down for Greenwich running about the 25-yard line. He's looking for a foul, but play continues. Another potential chance. It's just left back for him, a right-footed effort. Walter dives, but knowing that was going well wide. That was number 6, Andrew Lowett, who actually went down for a minute. Looked like he was nursing an injury, got right back up, looked at the ref, looking for a foul, but got a chance to redeem himself, but could not do so as he puts it wide on the left post.
Irving Dorman playing it long, but unable to find a New Canaan player as Greenwich wins it back. Playing it wide to the left side of the field as they look to press. Long ball over. Trying to find Graham Miller, the junior, who's in a threatening position on the right side, but it went out for a New Canaan goal kick. Dorman again, the sophomore, lining up to take this goal kick.
Ball comes back to this Darien back line. Not a great effort there from Ryan Smith. But Greenwich holds on to possession, looking out wide as Norton could not bring that ball down. And it'll be a Greenwich throw-in with 14 minutes remaining in this game. It looks like Greenwich will improve to 6-0. The Rams will fall to 2-5 as we approach the halfway mark of this COVID-shortened season for these fall teams. Good news that in the past week, the FCAC announced that there will be playoffs and a postseason for all four fall sports, which is great to hear that the seniors get their opportunity to compete for the hardware one last time. Speaking of seniors, Lindbergh plays it to Bosman, who looks to float it back into Lindbergh, but headed out by Greenwich.
New Canaan had some good passing there. Sorry about cutting you off there, Austin, as it's out for a throw-in. Looks like Ashton Healy is lining up on this close side here to take it as he plays it into Evan Bayless, who goes down from a challenge from the Greenwich player, number 5, Julian Engelin.
Bayless stays down, but play continues on the other side of play as Walter holds on to it. And now the ref will stop play as Bayless went down on this near side after taking a challenge from number 5, Julius Engelin, the senior D-man. It looks like the trainer will trot over and make sure Bayless, the star player, is okay. Certainly, if there's one guy you don't want to lose on this team, Cole, given the fact that you were obviously dealing with that injury, but you know these guys very well from the team, and if there's one guy you don't want to lose, it's probably going to be Evan Bayless.
They're all very talented and each play a role, but you can definitely see this game that Evan has played a critical role in creating some of their chances so far in this half, especially the first one of the half.
While we have this break in action, we'd like to thank all of you for spending your Wednesday evening with us here at NCTV at Dunning Field for this matchup between the Cardinals and the Rams. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to like and subscribe down below at NCTV 78 as Bayless gets up, not putting much pressure on his left leg. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at NCTV 78 as well for the latest. And for the next games we are streaming, we're actually doing the girls volleyball game tomorrow at the NCHS gym.
4:30 p.m. Be sure to have those post notifications on YouTube, as we will have the stream up and running by then.
It'll actually be against Greenwich as well, which is really the way the the FCAC has made it this year, so that every sport, basically the same teams are playing each other. We actually saw field hockey play Greenwich right before this as we were setting up. The Lady Rams and the Cardinals played to a 2-2 tie in field hockey, as we're seeing a lot of Greenwich action this week.
Alex Walter bowled it out to Irving Dorman, who's looking to find Ashton Healy on the close side, but it goes out for another Greenwich throw-in as Julius Engelin retrieves the ball. Kyle Snedden is on in place of Evan Bayless. Snedden, who went down last year during spring practice with an ACL, a torn ACL, is back up, and we're glad to see him back on the field in his right knee brace. Unfortunately, another New Canaan player was down with a torn ACL against, I believe it was Darien on the first night. George Mulry, the junior who plays defense in his call-up to the varsity team this year, went down within the first 10 seconds of the game when he was brought on with a torn ACL, and we wish him the best in his recovery and surgery in 2 weeks.
Certainly he's a guy, and many of these guys you'll see in the next couple of years, a much younger New Canaan team with sophomores such as Irving Dorman making a difference. Lorenzo Marsili we've seen this year. Aiden McLaughlin, who's played well in the center of that defense. And obviously plenty of juniors as well. Milan Afshar, the goalie. Alex Walter, can't say enough about him. And then obviously another guy in the defense. Tommy Kerr's another one up front. And then Michael Norton, the junior right back.
Certainly a talented group of sophomores and juniors coming up to lead the program.
It's a much younger and newer program that really hasn't seen a ton of success. This is Coach Luke Green's third season, as Snedden was looking to get on that through ball, but Fannin plays it to his right. Couldn't find anyone. That was Bosman, Jake Bosman, the sophomore. His brother Thomas is a senior on this team. We've seen some action this year. Colin Byrne plays it back to Walter, who's under a little bit of pressure, but does well to get it back to the senior right back. Norton now with some sudden burst of energy as Greenwich will win the throw.
Looks like the game is settled up a bit more as there's only about 10 minutes left, and the scoreline is 3-0. Cardinals leading the Rams here at Dunning Stadium. Alex Walter with the ball, playing it out to Colin Byrne. As Colin turns, trying to find a pass, and he does.
Plays it up in the hopes of finding Kyle Sneddon, but it was Bosman there who jumps on it. Has two Cardinals on him, but does well. Uses his strength to hold on to the ball. Dorman finds Sneddon with that knee brace as he tracks the ball down and does well to get it back to Norton, who floats it over the top looking for Fannin, who you usually see in that defense, but seeing a bit of action in the offensive half as he looks to find someone with a ball over the top, but instead it will be a goal kick. We're going to see a goalie change here for Greenwich. And we're going to see a plethora of subs for NC. Tommy Kurz will come on,
as well as Thomas Bausman, and it looks like Alex Novotny, the junior, seeing some minutes today.
It'll be a change in goal for the Cardinals as Murad, who made 4 saves in the game 2 weeks ago here, will come off. And at the moment, I cannot tell you who is in there for the Cardinals. They have 4 guys on the roster who are goalkeepers. One of them being the lone sophomore, Aiden Bukaria. But at the moment, I cannot tell you who is in the Greenwich goal.
Dorman playing it long, trying to find Tommy Kurz over the top. Aiden Bertoletti, the junior, also seeing some minutes here. Very talented player here in the midfield.
Coach Green giving some of his regulars a bit of time off as this game dwindles down. Just under 8 minutes to go. Novotny, the junior, plays it to a fellow junior, Tommy Kurz. Bosman finds Michael Norton, who's been one of the only guys on either side who's been on the field for every minute of this year. It really goes to show you his impact on this team.
Michael Norton and Tommy Kurz now sharing the field. The 2 freshmen who made it, the 2 juniors who made it as freshmen, made varsity as freshmen, and the ball is out on the far side of the field for Greenwich throw-in.
Talk about inexperience as well for New Canaan. Just 5 of their starters are returning. Doyle Catlin and Henry Lindbergh, the 2 captains. Michael Norton, as we just mentioned. Goalie Alex Walter, who's been there since day 1. And Lorenzo Marsili, who missed the first couple games of the year. Inexperience certainly a factor for New Canaan on the other side. Really feels like up and down this Greenwich roster, it's either a senior or a junior next to the name. 21 seniors, 8 juniors on this team, which has the experience and has good experience as well, as they went all the way to the state championship last year and finished as the 2nd best team in all of Connecticut, as there are 4 divisions of soccer in Connecticut, class double L, L, M, and S, as you may know from football. New Canaan's actually in class L, so they are a league down, but still playing in the same conference this year due to the COVID restrictions. A corner for New Canaan as a low arcing cross. Couldn't find any of the heads for New Canaan as they look to hold on to possession.
Going back to the inexperience of the New Canaan players, Coach Luke is also taking a very strong, showing some confidence in the younger players, and with time, this New Canaan team will build up to be strong, especially as some of the juniors grow over the next year into senior captains and senior players, as well as these sophomores that are on the team right now. Playing together for a full 3 years will certainly have some good impact on the program next year and the year after.
Graham Miller is now in the game for the Cardinals, the junior D-man, as a foul was committed before that cross went in. It'll be a Greenwich throw, as it's Englund, the senior. Feels like I've said senior about a million times tonight just because of the great leadership this team possesses.
Mateus Liu coming on for senior William Flynn. That's senior co-captain Mateus Liu. Looking like the top striker up against Thomas Bausman, number 28, the senior for New Canaan.
We saw Liu in the first couple minutes of this one, but it's a corner for New Canaan, punched out by the goalie. I was a little unsure of where that one would go. But it will be a throw-in for New Canaan as they look to get a goal late in this one. Would certainly just be a consolation, nothing more.
Michael Norton lining up for a big throw-in, trying to put the ball inside the Greenwich penalty box, as he does successfully, but not finding the head of a New Canaan player, as it's out for a Greenwich goal kick.
Bertolotti got his head to it, but couldn't find a second New Canaan head. As it will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. And taking it will be Jake Hugh Jones, who has been in this one in its entirety. One of the few guys who has not had any rest in this one, as Lambrinos picks up the loose ball on this right-hand side and plays it to Bosman. A lot of pace from him, looking for some moves, but
it's played long over the New Canaan player, and it goes to, sorry, that was Michael Norton, and it goes to a Greenwich player as they look to counterattack quickly.
Be a throw-in for New Canaan, as we'll see a couple more subs coming off for the first time. As I just mentioned, Jake Hugh Jones, where as I say, he's played the whole game. He finally gets some rest.
Coming on in his place is Isaiah Sun, the senior.
Coach Putnam taking out his regulars. He's certainly been impressed with their play and finally give them a rest and put some of the, I want to say younger players in, but they're all upperclassmen in the end, so some of his reserves in. 2.5 minutes and counting in this matchup, the third and what we believe to be the final matchup between these two teams. Greenwich will end up sweeping the season series 3-0, just like the score of this one. Bertolotti looking to advance it to Lambrinos, but Greenwich holds on to possession. But turned over from New Canaan. Let's see if they can get one last attack and maybe get something out of this one. Kyle Sneddon racing down this left-hand side. Tommy Kerr's making a run in the box, but doing well there was number 17, Alexander Patty, the senior D-man, senior right back, I should say, for the Cardinals.
Alex Novotny with the throw into Kyle, unable to hold possession as it's out for another New Canaan throw. Novotny lining up, throwing it central this time to Tommy Kerrs, who can't find it, but Irving Dorman looks to swing in across to Jake Bausman as he does not connect, and the ball goes out for a Greenwich goal kick with just under a minute and 30 seconds left in this game.
Harrison Kriebel, who is now in at goal, the senior, number 0, retrieves the ball. The backup goalie, 1 of 4 on this roster, getting some action as Murad gets some rest after another good performance. Wasn't asked to do a lot, Cole, but certainly when you have a goalkeeper who's not going to get a lot of chances, you have to make sure you save all of them.
Yes, he did have a strong performance, as well as Alex Walter. Alex, who had many more shots against him, but Murad was asked to step up a few times.
Moving in was the defenseman Engelin, who took a right-footed shot, but Walter was there to save it. And a trip there from Novotny, as it will be a foul in the waning seconds of this game. And Greenwich, if they can get one off, will be the final play of this one. It's number 27, Matthias Liu, who swings it in. Walter coming out, goes with the punch. Fan looking to win it, and he will win a foul. And that will just about do it for this one as the ball is played over the top. But as time expires, Greenwich wins this one 3-0 as they advance to 6-0 on this impressive season back here in the press box. Austin Platt, Cole Schubert, and the rest of the NCTV crew. The final here, New Canaan falls to 2-5, but you could tell that Greenwich was the better team throughout.
Yes, however, highlighting the New Canaan team, they did have some strong performances, especially from Michael Norton, who played a majority of the minutes, as well as goalkeeper Alex Walter, who, although 3 did get past him, he was asked to step up in a couple clinical spots, as well as some strong performances from the senior captains Henry Lindbergh and Doyle Catlin.
Greenwich strengthens its hold on the FCAC West, now 6-0. They're 2 games up now on Darien, who lost a couple days ago to West Hill. The next matches for these teams, they were supposed to play on Monday, as I mentioned, but it looks like that game has been postponed. Greenwich will play West Hill, and as will New Canaan. Actually, Greenwich will play them on Friday. New Canaan will play them next week, as we'll see a lot of West Hill and Stamford for both these teams, given the fact that both these teams are in quarantine. We thank you for watching and spending your Wednesday evening with us. I'll quickly shout out the rest of the crew. Obviously, Cole Schubert alongside Austin Platt here. I'd like to thank Max Alert for his first time on camera, and obviously Emily Fox, our great producer, as well as our advisor, Roman Sobolski. We'll be back tomorrow for girls volleyball. They will play Greenwich as well at home at the NCHS gym. Cole, you will be actually on camera for that one.
I will.
As we'd like to see you behind the camera, and there goes Max Alert right behind us. A great job from him on camera. But that'll do it. Here, the final score: Greenwich 3, New Canaan nothing. We will see you tomorrow for girls volleyball.